Narcissistic relationships can be toxic and confusing. Here are 8 signs to help you recognize if you are in one. 1. Toxic relationship dynamics. Toxic individuals often manipulate situations to shift blame onto others, making it difficult to discern reality. They may refuse to take responsibility for their actions, instead, deflecting blame or justifying their behavior. A genuine apology requires acknowledgement of wrongdoing, remorse, and a willingness to change. Without these elements, hurtful behavior is likely to continue. People tend to show their true character over time. While individuals can grow and change, it's essential to recognize that you can't force someone to change who doesn't want to. 2. Walking on eggshells. Narcissists often believe they're entitled to special treatment and may become aggressive or manipulative if they don't receive it. Narcissists often believe they're entitled to special treatment and may become aggressive or manipulative if they don't receive it. You might find yourself avoiding certain topics or self-censoring to prevent conflict or rejection. The threat of abandonment or rejection can lead you to compromise your values or boundaries to maintain the relationship. You may start doing things that don't feel right to you or go against your values to avoid conflict or rejection. These dynamics can be emotionally draining and make it difficult to maintain a sense of self and autonomy in the relationship. 3. Feeling angry and disjointed. You might notice that you are generally able to communicate effectively and maintain healthy relationships with most people. However, with a narcissistic individual, you find yourself feeling drained, frustrated, or behaving in ways that aren't typical of you. This disparity often stems from the narcissist's tendency to disregard your boundaries, leading to feelings of resentment and frustration. The circular arguments you are having make your head spin, because they go around and round on unrelated tangents, points that make no sense. Narcissists state how disloyal your accusations of them are when confronted, or they argue with you to manipulate you into something unwholesome. 4. Proving yourself. Narcissists often accuse others of the very flaws and behaviors they themselves possess. This can include claims that you are dishonest, selfish, or manipulative. When faced with these accusations, it's natural to feel defensive and try to prove them wrong. However, this can lead to getting entangled in their toxic games. If your integrity, character, well-being and safety is heavily influenced by others' opinions, you're more likely to get caught up in this cycle. 5. Cleaning up messes. Being connected with a narcissist has lots of drama, rough edges and, quite frankly, means that disasters are always looming. Narcissists usually aren't good with detail, accountability or sensibility. They fly high, seeking narcissistic supply and acclaim with little to no thought for doing the right thing. If your life is connected with one of these people, it's usual that you will be paying their fines, sorting out their messes and dramas, and even lying for them to cover their tracks. It's like this analogy. As you're watering their back lawn, trying to keep it green, yours gets parched and turns brown and dies. This is how narcissistic roll, and this is what happens to the sensible, well-meaning, responsible people who narcissists like to recruit into their lives. By walking away from people like this, we can heal and restart our life with self-responsibility. 6. Boundary issues. It's extremely common for people with poor boundaries to get involved with narcissists. You find it difficult to speak up, stand up for yourself, or hold boundaries with this particular person. And when you try to do so, are you often criticized, rejected, abandoned, or punished? You are likely dealing with a narcissist. As a result of that, you try to minimize the trauma, and may have that breaks out by giving up on trying to assert your needs. Or maybe because you've dissolved into so many feelings of powerlessness, helplessness and despair, you find yourself picking or bleeding for your boundaries to be respected, discovering that the narcissist has zero empathy for you and will comply. It takes you down into an even deeper place of helplessness. 7. Trauma bonding. Perverse addiction happens with narcissists. This is also known as trauma bonding. Even when you know how much you continually get hurt by doing so, we can be horrified by how addicted we are to someone who treats us so terribly. It just doesn't make logical sense. You are drawn back to them, even when you know it's toxic. This trauma bond can be overwhelming and difficult to break. 8. Physical and emotional exhaustion. You are experiencing anxiety, depression, and physical symptoms like fibromyalgia or PTSD. You are losing interest in activities and people that once brought you joy. Your life is becoming increasingly isolated and painful. There are varying degrees of narcissism, and there are also people who can just be clueless and selfish, but not necessarily afflicted with narcissistic personality disorder. If someone in your life does not share your values and doesn't care for your feelings, then this is not a healthy relationship for you. As soon as we try changing other people, it's time to pull away and say to ourselves and them, this is who I am and what I need for us to continue. We may lose a lot by leaving, as many of us have. However, by leaving, we can achieve the greatest gain. Finally, turning inwards to integrate with ourselves, so that we are in a position of wholeness and can be in control of our choices, and have the power to look after ourselves and create a happy, healthy and truly loving life. Do you relate to any of these signs? If you do, what do you plan to do next? Let us know in the comments below.